Hey guys, this is Gary J. This is a throwing stick, often called a Kylie. Some call it a killing stick. We don't use them to kill animals with. That was a primitive way. Use them to play games with today most of the time. Some are just made to throw and enjoy. And this particular one is made by Bob Foresi, who is a master at making these throwing sticks. One of the very few in America, and one of the best. This one's 27.5 inches long from end to end, incredibly long Kylie stick here, and throws beautifully. One of the unique things about this particular stick is that not only is it a wonderfully made throwing stick aerodynamically, which Bob Foresi has over 3 decades of experience, and it really takes a lot for someone to come up with a stick like this. It's also a novelty type too, one of the first of its kind that Bob has made. A few of these, not many, but it's in the design of a baseball bat, the Louisville Slinger 4191, Louisville, Kentucky. And also here is Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb is one of Georgia's Hall of Famers, great baseball players of all time. And I live in Georgia, and so I'm quite familiar with Ty Cobb. I really appreciate Bob putting that on here. But this is just a beautiful stick here, and wonderfully crafted and made. It's a real art to making the airfoils on these so that they throw correctly. Anybody could probably cut out a design similar to this, but they can't make it throw like Bob Foresi or some of the great throwers. And there's only a handful that I know of in America, maybe 5 or 6 people that can actually make a really good throwing stick. And certainly Bob is one of the top ones. Let's throw and see how she goes. Thanks a lot, guys. Gary J. Okay, guys, we're going to be throwing our Kylie by Bob Foresi. And again, it's 27.5 inches across. She is really a big stick. And beautifully made on the airfoils here that Bob does such a great job of. And he has to hone them and throw them. And it takes a lot to get them perfectly correct for throwing. So it's a lot of trial and error and a lot of experience. Just trying to give you a point to so you can see what direction we're throwing her at. You see this shed right here, we'll be throwing that direction. It's got a windsock on it, you probably can't see it with this camera, but we'll be throwing in that direction toward the tall shed. Let's see how she goes. 1, 2, 3. She went right in the direction that we threw her. And that's probably about 70 yards out. This one's about 75 yards. Didn't really try to throw hard. Okay, there's no wind at all. Throwing at this tree right here. And that's about 120 yards out, so we know we're not going to hit that. So let's see how straight she'll throw. 1, 2, 3. She threw pretty straight, and I threw her up a little bit too high though. I could tell she kind of bared off a little bit to the right, but that's me. I was trying to manhandle a little bit, but we got her out about 80 yards here. We're gonna be throwing this direction toward this house. The house is probably 400 yards away, so we know we're not even gonna get close to that. So that just gives you a visual of what direction we're throwing in, okay? Let's see how she does. 1, 2, 3. You see, she's almost dead center of the house. And she went out, looks like about 90 yards. So that was a pretty good throw there. Straight, notice it went pretty straight. Most time Kylies are going to go to the left If you're right-handed, go to the left and the right. Here's a landmark again, so you get an idea of which direction we're throwing in and what we're throwing at. This house is about 400 yards away, so we're safe in throwing that direction, but I'm just using that as a target so you can kind of get an idea. 1, 2, 3. Look at her. Right, dead center. I could feel a tiny bit of wind, so I threw it and she curved just a little bit. Now she went at least 90 yards out. We're going to throw in this direction here. That's my red Explorer there. Just give you a target so you'll see which direction we're throwing in. 1, 2, 3. You see she hit like right here toward the front wheel, that direction right there. So that she went pretty straight and then kind of bounced to the left, but she went really straight. And that's kind of hallmark of Foresi Kylie. They really go really straight, so they make it a lot easier on your distance as far as throwing and accuracy, that is. And this one's about 80 yards out. So she did real well. One thing about this birch, it is a hard wood right here compared to most, and it's almost indestructible. It's not going to break like something really, you know, cheap wood or something like that. And just, man, this is just really a beautiful Kylie right here by Foresi. Okay guys, we're going to throw at this tree right here. Let's see how accurate we can get. 1, 2, 3. Okay. She went just to the right of it and bounced toward the left, closer to it. But well, when you're throwing like, in this case, that's about 60 yards. When you're throwing 60 yards, that's good, you know. You can see our tree right here. We went just past it right here, about 70 yards. That wasn't a real long throw there, but that's still a great distance with a Kylie. I'm in Georgia. But I really appreciate Bob making this wonderful big throwing stick for me, and it throws really, really well, and a lot of work goes into that. Bob is a master at making these sticks and getting the airfoil just right on them. He has to be perfect to get them to throw straight and fly straight. Thank you a lot, Bob, for this. Really appreciate it very much. Gary J.